All right. Welcome to the inaugural Rom Wills show. Yeah, I'm gonna try something a little bit different for y'all, right? And this episode is going to be called the African American and African Relationships. And our host for this show is my esteemed brother, John Williams. And John, they probably like, who the heck are you? Tell us a little bit about yourself, bruh.
Just that simple, Ron. John A. Williams. We've been friends for a little while. So I live here in the Metro D.C. area. Been here since like 1989. A little bit of my background. I'm in the IT field. I've been doing that since probably last 30 years. I figure we get together and talk, I guess, a little bit. You cover the relationship things, and we could collaborate and see what we come up with. I know we talked about the African and African American relationship. So,
well, you know what? Well, I'll tell you what, bruh. Even before we get into that, right?
Uh-huh.
What are your thoughts on just plain African American relationships, just within the community? What are your thoughts? What have you seen? What are your experiences?
The relationship is African and African Americans. This is just my viewpoint, man. To me, wherever you find us, you find us. You know what I mean? So I don't think there's really that much of a difference. As a matter of fact, in being in a relationship with a woman from Africa, you can see many of the commonalities that we have. So, it's not that big a difference as, we would think. I think in a prior discussion, a lot of times I think, brothers look at sisters are sisters wherever you find them, man. That's how I see it.
Okay, that's how you see it, man. But let me stir up the pot a little bit, because
go ahead.
You get that thought, especially with some African American brothers, that you know what, these sisters are wild and crazy. Let me go get a sister from the Dominican Republic or Brazil.
Uh-huh.
Or, well, they don't talk about Africa as much unless they're talking about Ethiopia or something like that. Or, some brothers will say, let me get one from the Caribbean. But you saying
right.
ain't that big a difference. So, I mean, what's up? What are your thoughts on that? I mean, do you think these brothers maybe don't have experience with black women from other cultures, so they think, oh, wow, we might find some unicorns or something?
I think so. We're going by old model, man, and I'm gonna make a little, funny instance here where we talk about. You remember Eddie Murphy had the little joke about, yeah, I'm gonna go to Africa and find, a sister like Mfufu.
Yes.
But people, we think we're gonna go over here and, if I get this Asian woman, she's gonna be docile. If I get this woman from here, she gonna just be in there barefoot cooking. That ain't real, bro. With the advent of the internet, the media, people traveling, going place to place, what you're going to find out is that the women are the women. So it's not like you can go somewhere and escape from whatever it is you think you're trying to escape from. But because you'll find that the woman is the woman. Now you may be able to go somewhere where people are, and I'm going to say it, where people are impoverished. And those women going to cater more to you because, they want to get out of poverty. But when you go and you find that there's, whether you don't get a sister from Africa, you get a sister from Jamaica, when she's successful, she's going to have some of the same modern requirements that any woman anywhere has, so we got to look at it from that standpoint.
Well, I'm going to tell you what my experience has been, right? Because sometimes brothers will think, okay, we'll get a woman from another culture or something. But I've told brothers, after dealing with women from other cultures, sometimes they deal with a tougher, or have a tougher standard for a man.
Yes, sir. I was about to get into that. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, because they don't play. It's like a lot of times, believe it or not, the African-American woman will put up with a whole lot, provided that brother, was quote unquote fine or whatever. They'll put up with a lot, or some dude that's not making as much money. But one thing I've seen with women from other cultures, particularly black women, they like, well, what's your degree? How much money you make? you know, how you carrying yourself, right?
Yeah.
You know,
And that's a commonality, I think, though, and that's what I was kind of getting at. It's a commonality because, for the most part, man, when you look at the reach of, you know, we had slavery here and colonialism over the whole globe. So the whole globe is to some degree westernized. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that thing, we think we can go find something that hasn't been touched by that. You know, yeah, you got to go real deep. You know, go off in the Amazon somewhere and, you know, find somebody living up in the Amazon that, you know, get to meet people or something like that. But in the real world, bro, the West has touched everywhere. There's nowhere the West is not touched. So when you have these expectations, I'll tell you, really, we have this thing, and I'll go into this about, you know, these expectations of men and women. We have these expectations that, you know, and I talked about it with another brother today. You know, a lot of times we want what we are not. So, you know, you ever see the sisters put the post up there, a real man do this, a real man would do that. But, you know, the sisters making that post, 9 times out of 10, you follow up. I'm gonna be, it's a little nasty, but a lot of times ain't been no daddy in there. Ain't no man there for real. So you know, you gotta look at what you're picking and choosing. But on the other side, you have fellas, right? We got this thing we want to be, you know, to quote the man, and there's these expectations. So when you want to step into these roles, we all say we want these roles that we might have seen in our parents' generation. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But we not willing to play those roles. We want portions of those roles. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, if we don't come out, hey, I want to be the man in this regard, that regard, no matter where you go in the world today, it's like you said, they looking for those things because they get real cut and dry. What can you provide?
Exactly.
I mean, so if you want to play the role, but that's what it is. What can you provide? So that's why you get those questions. And sisters are no different here. Sisters here are no different here with their expectations in any woman anywhere in the world. So I'm not really sure, you know, what some of the brothers are getting at in that regard. Like I say, you can't escape. You can't escape the woman no matter where you go on the planet. And sadly, you can't escape Western civilization in too many places.
Yeah, and I was about to say that because I actually get people from, I got supporters from like Africa, like South Africa, brothers who are living in the United Kingdom. I've had coaching sessions with a brother living in China, right?
Right.
Belgium, one of my best supporters lives in Belgium, and you know, Nigerian brothers, and I mean, there's some little slight nuances.
Right.
Like if I'm dealing with brothers from talking with brothers from overseas, they're not talking about the whole thug thing. Correct. Or as we say on YouTube, Pookie and Ray Ray in this sector of YouTube, they can deal with that. But then, as you said, the women still have certain expectations of a man.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you this: if you go that route, thinking you're gonna go grab, you know, some woman from, you know, Brazil, wherever, it depends. Like I say, once again, the woman that's been brought up in poverty might be a little more tolerant of some behaviors you can get with here. I mean, like you said, it's the same. It's no different. But a woman that has a little bit more going on, yeah, she's gonna have some expectations. Matter of fact, if that woman's from another country, and I can even look at, in my case, Africa, and she has it going on, you're gonna have to step your game up some more.
Well, exactly. Well, one of the things too, and I want to address that whole poverty thing, right?
Yeah.
That poverty thing is very important because sometimes a brother, you get brothers who do maybe they feel like they can get a bride from overseas, or you know, they'll go and meet a woman maybe and she's real cooperative, and I'm just like, no, she's just playing that game. She's trying to feed herself and her family. Like I notice on Facebook, I get a lot of women from South America and also the Philippines, maybe Thailand, sending me friend requests, which I delete because I'm like, I didn't at first because I ain't thinking about it at first. I was just like, I got some fans here, whatever, right?
One word, bro. 90 Day Fiance.
And but I'm gonna tell you what though about that, man. Just finishing that thought up. I mean, if you when I would entertain them, all of a sudden you get some email, some message, right, talking about, hey, how you doing or whatever, and I'm like, hey, and they like, and I started asking, what, like, why you hitting me up? Oh, I just want friends and stuff. I'm like, well,
No, bro. It's
nah,
a pass here, the citizenship, whatever. So yeah, that plays a part. And so when we go to these places, you got the brothers running. You know, we go to Brazil, Dominican, wherever, Philippines. You got to start looking. You know, once upon a time, way back in the day, you know, there was a fight for like male order brides, and that's really even Ethiopia. You know, these people were trying to escape poverty. So, you know, hey, you know, these women are more docile, they this, that, yeah, because they're trying to get up out.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, exactly. And that's something to consider. But I don't want to focus on that aspect too much, man.
That's cool.
But I mean, you know, the title of the show, African American and African Relationships, man, because I mean, if you don't mind me sharing, you've been married before to an African American woman, right?
Absolutely. Yes, I have.
Yes. So however much you want to share there, that's on you. But now you're married to a sister from, I believe, Tanzania, right?
Correct.
All right. I mean, were there any? I mean, even though you said, "Oh yeah, they're the same, basically the same," have you noticed any like nuances in general?
Not really. I think they hold they
Personality.
hold they hold very tight to the traditions, and you know, at our age, you'll see the traditions that you and I probably saw when we were kids. You know what I mean? Even in our maybe grandparents' realm, the respect and what have you. So, you know, when you trying to get married, it's not just, hey, you know, I'm gonna just get married and run off and we're gonna be this and that and XYZ. No, it's an expectation. You got to meet the family. You got to get the approval. You know, what I did in this case is, you know, I actually in her culture, which is Chaga, yeah, they live in the Kilimanjaro area. But traditionally, you know, this whole concept of dating, you know, I don't get to meet daddy. Meet me for what? In their mindset, they don't have a thing. What is this dating thing? You know, they don't come from all that dating. So when you look at her parents' generation, if you bring a guy home, okay, he's potential. So they want to know what you got going on. So it's not just the woman, there's the expectations of the family on what are you bringing to the table.
Okay.
So that's one of the things. But it's like I said, it's not so much different than how it was here with us being traditional before we got so what's the word? So assimilated.
Sure. I mean, you know.
Yeah, we got assimilated into the pop culture, but you know, we used to be the same way. Hey, you got to meet pops, uncle, and you know, mom and her family, and so it's the same thing. What I actually did is I sent an email. You know, I spoke to one of her uncles. You know, because you can't speak directly to the father. That's the tradition.
Okay.
Yeah, because at that point the uncle can speak on your behalf. So I talked to the uncle. You know,
Okay.
in Tanzania.
Hold on, let me interrupt you for a second. Hold up, because I can see something like that. The father, like, you know what? I don't even want to handle that work. I'm gonna let my brother take care of that first. Go, you know, go bet him or something like that, and then I'll deal with him. If you can't get the uncle and stuff, he's like, you know what? I don't want to deal with my brother. My peoples took care of that. You know.
Yeah. So
that
you don't
in a way because you are combining families anyway.
correct.
You know, then we even doing that in this country, but then you get people, they can get married in, you know, this particular country without even meeting anybody in the family. You might meet them on a wedding day, and even then you might not meet them.
Might not meet them at all. So
yeah,
that's
this is a piece of something, but it makes sense because any real marriage is a community. and you bringing everybody into it. It should, you know, the whole thing about it takes a village to raise a child. So that actually makes sense. I mean, and plus, sometimes our elders, which we used to do in this culture, you know, you had to bring
Correct. Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
father, your big mama. Like if Big Mama would be sitting over in the corner and bring him around, and I don't care what the woman thought with everybody else, Big Mama just be looking like,
Yeah. Well, like my grandma, first thing she want to know who your people.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
who your people? Who your people? You
yeah,
know,
trying to
wait
change.
for who your people.
And I'm gonna tell you what, I think that contributes to the relationship atmosphere that we have now because we're not checking each other out as a community. It's pretty much, all right, this person made me come more than the other person, or this
Right.
sex part,
Uh,
you know?
all the money side, you know, hey, he making dollars, she making dollars, you know, it's
Yeah.
a lot more on the superficial side because, and I'm not here to argue one versus the other. Most say, hey, it's us against the world, and just me and you, baby, and you know, a husband leaves his mother to, you know, cleave to his wife, and you know these Judeo-Christian things where traditionally you are bringing families together, you know. So there was a even here, like I say, here in this culture and in the Christian culture here, people there was some vetting to some degree that was going on. You did go and you looked for your mom's approval, you looked for your father's approval. But you know, as it is now, like you said, with pop culture, hey, if you're enough baby against the world, and I'm not knocking that either. If that's worked for you and has worked for you, because sometimes you know families can be messy, right?
Oh yeah,
And
yeah, definitely.
yeah, and you don't want you don't want that. I was just fortunate enough to have you know, two families that are kind of like on the same accord, and I think there's something to that because I have I've been married and divorced, but I have a cousin that she got married at the age of 18, and
Okay.
her and her husband are together to this day,
Oh, okay.
to this very day. Yeah, and what it is, if you look at their background, their parents have very similar modalities of operating. You know, they came from the church, but they have the same value system.
Okay.
Yeah, and so it was easy. Not necessarily easy. I think it's easier when you than someone that has a different value system. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, different value systems. And my wife and I, that's one of the things we talked about is we saw we had a lot of things in common. You know, as far as the value system. So, you know, yeah, I was vetted by the uncles, and so I volunteered to do like a traditional meeting, but I didn't get to go to Tanzania for the it's called the introduction, so to speak. And you know, that's where you get like a cow and a goat, and everybody comes together. And if the father says it's okay to eat, then it's a go.
Oh,
You
okay.
know, and yeah, they have a local drink called Bege, and it's locally made. It's a type of brew. But you know, I went ahead and I bought a cow and a goat. But Uncle Julius made sure that he filmed the whole thing for me and sent it to me.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and he walked around the whole party, and he's asking, "Hey, you know what this is all about?" You know, and it's like, you know, who bought this, right? This is John A. Williams bought all this. This Fuji, John A. Williams bought that. You know, this Mbege is good, right? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
John A. Williams bought this. You know, this is for John and Shia's wedding. You know, so he was very good about that. So he sent me the photo of my father-in-law drinking Mbege from the calabash.
Oh, okay.
That was a go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
that was a
what's up.
go. Yeah.
Now, you know, some I heard in all of that is just the role that the males played in that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And I think that's a very important difference because, as you know, in the African American community, it is very much de facto, even though some people say not de facto, but actual matriarchal community, right?
Yeah.
You don't
Mhm.
say, like, in many cases, if there's even a family intact, it's still the mother making a lot of the decision. The father might just be like, yeah, whatever, just tell me when I'm walking down the aisle. But it sounds
Right.
like, at least in this part or this particular Tanzanian culture, that, you know, the
Mm-hmm.
fathers, they, you know what, they running stuff. They like, hold up, you got to come through us and all of that. Now,
Right.
is that when you experience that, say, is that similar to what you experienced in maybe your previous marriage?
Not so much so because and I don't want to get too much into any previous lives because of other folks' privacy too in regards to the family, but to a lot lesser degree. I've done that. I'll make the point to go meet the family. You know what I mean? And it's more of a let's meet the parents. We do
Mm-hmm.
we do the meet the parents thing. You
Yeah.
know, in this particular situation, my wife's mother she was here in the States for a long time, so I got to meet her,
Okay.
and I got it was very significant because I got the approval from mom, and after the wedding, I said, oh, did you know? She said, yeah. I said, how did you know? She said, oh, when I met you, I knew. I said, how'd you know? She says, because I saw that you would allow my daughter to be like me. And
Oh, okay.
yeah, and yeah. So she has her space and role in the family as well. So
Okay.
it's a very refreshing thing. And then I took Sia to meet my mother.
Okay.
And it meant quite a lot because I'll be honest, in previous relationships, this is the first relationship where I got a thumbs up across the board.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Every previous one because of, but that's on me because I was choosing differently. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Choosing differently based on where I am. And that's, let me put that out there first. There's always two sides of a relationship. So that's not to say everything I did was on point in the relationships. What I'm saying is two people, I believe in the law of attraction. You attract where you are at the time.
Yeah, you
And
do.
yeah, that's what you're going to get. So, I guess when it was time I was ready for a relationship like this, things lined up. And, my mom said, she said, this is the one.
Oh,
She said,
okay.
yeah,
Okay.
she said, this is the one. And my mom even say, don't you mess this up. She said, this
Oh,
is the one.
okay.
Yeah. And I got the same buy-in from the sisters, the aunts, the uncles, cousins, all across the board. Never had that happen in life. And, some people may say, well, it don't matter. It's just really you and your wife. But I beg to differ. It's not, at least for me. For
Different.
me anyway. It means a lot. And when the moms met each other, man, it would have brought a tear to the eye because what you saw was the joining of two families. And her mother at the wedding asked for some time in the reception that she
Mhm.
wanted to do some traditional things. And it was really just, they brought my aunt, my sister, my mom up. And I mean, all of the women, they danced around them and wrapped them in, these cloths that they had bought.
Okay.
And man, it was deep, man. It was tight. It was great for my family as well because my family members that were there, they felt that too. That what you call a joining or
Yeah.
binding, and I think we needed that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we needed that. Yeah, honestly, I'll say we needed that. I needed, but not just that. We needed that. And it's coolest thing, the uncle once again, part of that, he presents me with my, like a Messiah wrap and a shield and a and a symbolic spear, which I still have. Matter of fact,
Well, you got a spare?
oh, I got a spear too, man. But I
You
don't
got
know
a
if you
spare?
can.
I see you, bro.
God, yeah. So yeah, I got that, and he said, "Hey, you know how to use it?" Yeah, I know how to use it.
Yeah, man.
But
You used it in the mean streets of East St. Louis. Yeah, I know.
well, we got to bring that. Hey, that's home, man. That's home. Back up off the East St.
Hey, but you know what, man? Get back to those cultural differences now. one of the things, right? And this is overall not just for black men, but there's always this thing, especially with African American women, about the shortage of quote unquote good black men. I mean, but it's funny, I never hear them say anything about dealing with black men from the continent. There's plenty of them, plenty of them. Do you think there might be an opening? Because I have plenty of sisters who follow me and plenty of brothers who don't want to mess with them. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe the sisters, instead of like looking at that white man who really don't want them, could check out the, African men, men
Right.
from, what I say, continental African men, because we're all African, whether people.
Well, I'll put it to you this way, from maybe a relative that has dated African man. I'll put it to you this way, and it goes along the same lines that I said regarding women. Men are men, wherever you find them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
That's it. Men are men, wherever you find them. There's going to be some good ones, some bad ones. Just like the women, some good ones, some bad ones. Depending on the upbringing, you'll find too, and some place in Africa, they just like you have the very religious and not so religious, and that's the thing. When you look at the history, slavery versus colonialism, it wasn't that much difference from my study. What you see is really colonialism just being enslaved where you live. We were brought here. Yeah, we were brought here, and so what you get is some of those same things, and I'll bring this up because I dated some time ago. I dated a sister from Kenya, and you go over there and it's like, hey, we're gonna have some tea and crumpets, that's kind of British. So that's not what you're expecting, right? And so once again, it goes back to that thing: the Western world has touched everywhere. So with that being said, the men are men, but I would say to the sisters, same thing, expand your horizons, but I'll tell you this, the greatest factor in who you meet is where you are at the time.
Yeah, okay.
And doesn't matter. You can go Timbuktu, literally, whatever you vibrating to, that's what you're gonna attract.
Okay.
So yeah, it's really more so about doing the work, the self-work. After my previous marriage, man, I went through, it's John 8, bro. It's me. I went through a whole year, Brother Ron.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Hey, I didn't want to deal with anyone at any level, but that's unheard of for me. But with that being said, it gave me some time to do the necessary work and analysis on myself. It's easy. We can always analyze where our exes, where they fell down, but really your winning point is where you can analyze the places where you fell down. One, because you chose that person, right? So now you got to look at what are your criteria. It's like the genie of the lamp, man. If you ever get a chance, watch that movie. You might have seen it, Bedazzled. You remember that one? It's where the cat is, he meets this woman and she's really the devil, right? And he want to meet this girl and hook up with her. So he keep asking for all these wishes. I want to be a writer. I want to be a basketball player. And she give him every wish that he want, right? Mm-hmm. But like she make him the basketball player, and he meet her, she a reporter, and my man looked down his shorts, and he wasn't blessed. He said, damn the devil. I said, well, you didn't ask for that, So it's like he said he wanted to be a poet and, be in the circle, the upper crust and all that. And he go in the room and he's actually gay. So, he cussing the devil out all the way because the devil is giving him what he asks for. Yeah. But he's not asking for everything. So you have to beware of what it is you ask for. You got to ask for the whole package, man. Finally, dude says, I just want her to be happy. And bam, he go back to his regular life. The devil had to tear up the contract, and he ended up meeting the girl. The girl was, he ended up helping her move into an apartment, where he lived. Yeah, because he had to let all those things go, all these things that he thought he had to be first in order to get her. And so I'll say the same thing. I did, you can call it manifestation, man, but manifesting rather. But I did a meditation and I let it go. I finally said, after all this frustration, man, and my own levels of heartache too. And I said, you know what? Just send me the right one for me. Let it go. Yeah, and let it go. And I ended up meeting my current wife. Under some circumstances, she was in a place that she usually doesn't frequent, and I was there, wasn't looking for anyone. But she came in, I started going to happy hour with my buddies, right? And, because I hadn't been out in a while, just started getting out in the world, seeing what's happening again. And, she came in, and don't get me wrong, man, I've been going to this happy hour maybe about a month or two prior, right?
Yeah.
On Thursdays. And a lot of fine chicks coming through there, man, back to back, but I had no interest in it. But she came in with her coworker, and she sat down, and as soon as she looked up, man, it was immediate. I had the little voice to say, don't let her leave this room. Don't let her leave this building today. You better talk to this woman.
Oh, okay.
And I had never felt that urge before, never.
Oh, you got hit by that thunderbolt, man.
Yeah. So, I got up and had to make up an excuse to walk by. So, me, I had to walk by, go to the bathroom, so I could see what she's sitting on,
Yeah, I know. That's how to catch you, man. Just that ass, man. That ass.
Yeah. She in the background over here, right?
Yeah, let me share this with you real quick because some people, and I got to do another video.
Yeah.
An acronym on, on my channel. It's called LOPHA. That's LOPHA. Lovers of fat asses. So you're definitely a loafer, brother. Because I remember playing one time on Facebook. I started talking about something, and I told the co-parent, and you know the co-parent and stuff. I said, you know what? I'm gonna talk about butts in this Facebook post. Watch John be the first one to post, and then you were. I was like, I knew it, and you even admitted to it. Say, man, you got me. I said, I knew it, because that's you.
I got to hit you with the Ronald Reagan. I don't seem to recall, But yeah, man, it was one of those things. But I think I was at a place because when you ask for that, and we can go on and wax spiritual a little bit. When you ask for something, be specific, but when you ask for something like in regards to the person, you say, hey, the best one for me. And see, we get all confused on this soulmate thing, man. You're constantly hearing, I'm seeing sisters posting about soulmates, and your soulmate is I think a lot of times going to be the person that causes you a lot of discomfort.
Yeah.
Because when you ask for the best person for me, the best person for you is going to hit you in those places you need to show up. You know what I mean?
Well, exactly. Let me add quick, man. Let me add to that. Because, a lot of, and trust me, I met a lot of women who say that, they want that guy and they think everything will be okay. But really, relationships are about growth anyway. They're about growth. So sometimes the person that you need is going to piss you off, but that's the person that's going to push you to be your best person. Sometimes the person that just let us do what we want to do and just say, oh, they just accept us and never question anything ain't always the best person. Because we might be
Go back to that poverty thing you said, right?
Oh, yeah. We ain't going to put anybody's stuff out there, but you're right about that.
Yeah, so they once again they trying to come up. So they're gonna put up with your stuff. You know. So let's just keep it real like that. Yeah, they'll put up with your stuff because they trying to, come up or, get into a better situation for themselves. Or, I ain't gonna say that, but the better situation for themselves and whoever else may be, with them. But that's the thing, Rom, is you got to really look at where you are. Because I tell people you always have the right mate.
Yeah.
And I get cussed out. Well, such and such did this to me. She cheated. How she the right mate? He was abusive. You had the right mate for where you are, because there was a criteria that you had for picking that person.
Yeah.
There's a lot of sisters around here that want to look for the guy that's well off and well to do, but they getting that ass beat while in front of people the brother is buying diamond coats and cars and all. That's for sure. You know what I mean? So be careful what you ask for, what you chase for. So you got to really examine your criteria. Let's talk about the brothers. I mean, like you said, sometimes we just you focus on the booty and forget, she might need to be a mother at some point too.
Yeah.
She might be, your partner and having to help you out with, running the finance of the house, and can she bring more to the party than booty? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah, and so now you're mad because hey, you had the one that's making scream and freak of the week, whatever you want to call. But you look back and you find out, well, man, what else was it? It's whatever is primary for you. So be careful when you start saying a man got to be this and that, a woman got to be this and that, and you don't add the rest.
Mm-hmm.
You got to add the rest. Something as simple as, someone that treats me well and is respectful, But, unfortunately, the two major things that's running things is those two things, sex and money. And what do most relationships end over?
Sex and money.
Sex and money. One or both.
Yeah.
Sex and money. Sex and money. So that's the real of it. Sex and money.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. But you know what, John? I don't want to make this too long and stuff, man. But I definitely got to have you back on again. I'm gonna see how this works out. See what the feedback is. So
yeah,
I mean,
be glad to.
Any closing thoughts? Any message you want for my listeners?
Absolutely. I would say I'm talking to sisters as well. Expand your horizons. Like I say, wherever we are, you'll find that when you make the necessary changes in yourself, you'll start attracting a different level of person, and it doesn't matter where that person is. So for my folks that hey, you want to meet and go get someone from the Caribbean. A brother and sister from the Caribbean, or whether they from Africa, that's a brother and sister, some different culture elements, of course. So you got to check out those culture elements, you got to look at that. When you go to a place where they have a lot of family involvement, a lot of what's going on going to be out in the family, because a lot of things are resolved in the village. Remember, it takes a village, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, if you're not a good person, that's going to get out. If you're a good person, that's going to get out, and be a part of the family's talk. So I would say don't limit yourself. Get out there, be adventurous, work on you, and I think you'll meet that right one when you least expect it. But I think the best thing is don't be looking.
All right.
I would say, don't be looking. Just let it go, let it flow. And ask for the, hey, I want the best one for me. And, don't be afraid to check out your brothers and sisters from everywhere else in the diaspora.
All right. Well said, brother. Well said.
Right.
So, you know what? Definitely have you back on here again. Like I said, see how this works out. And I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. And, hey, just good night, good morning, whatever time you're watching this. Peace and blessings.